project is to do some more adventuring with Toothless, my cat. I had to pull all of my setup for him out. I also had to reinstall his traveling box. That's actually a large size animal crate. I left it apart and the two parts stacked so that it makes a nice ledge and safe ledge for him to be on. I have a leash that I'm going to hook to his harness. So at this point, I'm just going to leash him up and we're going to go to one of the local parks. It's a little earlier than in the day than I had gone before, so hopefully there won't be as many people around and I won't be as nervous about coming across dogs. Yeah, here we go. Oh, no. Oh, no. There we go. All right. And I have his leash just wrapped around the back of the seat and it goes there. And he can't reach me while I'm driving, but he can go have a look out the window, lay on the dash. He can even get down here into the shady floor space and back into the cabin a little bit. So I might have to tighten him up a little bit to have him be safe and keep him from crawling on me. In general, I've tried this before and it works. Okay, this is not a super long drive, so. My theory is that he's gonna figure out how to stay stable and comfortable, and it's just gonna take him some practice. So short drives at first, and going to places that we're familiar with, and here we go. Hey dude, put your feet down. So I got a very thin, a retractable leash with a very thin line that he's able to pull. Goes about 10 feet. On my way up, I did see a lady with a dog coming up this way, so I stopped to put my window down and complimented her on how handsome her dog was, and then explained to her that I'd have the cat and just was warning her, you know, in case the cat and the dog see each other. And she was saying that, you know, oh, if I let my dog off, he'd run off. And I told her about the tracker, the Findster Duo that I'm using. And she was like, oh, so you can let your cat off leash. And I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense that all animals, cats and dogs, should be on leash. So much as I like to test out how this is going to work, I realized that I'm probably breaking rules by taking him off leash, because it does say pets on leash, not dogs on leash. Really my intention though is to walk him on leash if we're in populated areas and just have that Findster on him in case he does get away. But right now I just wanted to test and see how far it would let me go that I could still keep track of him. So we'll go back in where a little further back in where nobody's going to see us, hopefully, and I'll test it. But I just wanted to say that, you know, where it says pets on leash, you should keep your pets on leash, whether they're cats or dogs. Okay, so keeping him on leash right now, because the woods are pretty open because we haven't had leaf out here yet, I can continue my MO of keeping him on the leash and following him while he's on the leash. But that's not gonna continue to be the case once we have leaf out. So that's part of the point, is the tracker, is that I can still follow him but not have to be dragged through the brambles and the leaves and all that. So once we get kind of down here over off trail-ish, I think I will take him off. And it's not that I'm gonna just sit somewhere central and let him go. I'm gonna kind of try to keep up with him best I can. And if he starts going off crazy, I'll chase him down and grab him. But he can have a little bit of freedom in this overgrowth. So. See, the woods, they're really open, but right now, you know, you can see how the leaf out is about to happen, or is happening. and think of leaves on every one of these trees and bushes, and the going would be rough for me. So far so good. No dragging me through briars and brambles. Oh my gosh, down every single fallen log. Let me see. Oh. He eyes up those trees. I'm getting a good look at what a cat does on a romp. He likes trees. He likes climbing trees. One thing I've discovered is he does like to do his business outside instead of in the litter box. So I think as a cat owner, if you're attentive to a cat like you would be to a dog, like needing out, I think you can avoid having a lot of business done in the litter box if you have the opportunity to kind of take them out in an area where there's loose dirt when you're driving along. Now, if you're in a pet area, you'd of course need to have a bag and pick up your poop. But, if you're by the side of the road and out in the woods or whatever, wherever, you'd let him dig his cat hole and do his business in there. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping for very little poop business in the van. So as I was saying, he'll dig his own cat hole and do his business in there and then cover it up. I guess I could give him his privacy, but I think he's done. See? That's why they call it a cat hole. We're out in the middle of the woods. I'm not too worried about cleaning up after that one. Okay, so now I let him off leash. I'm gonna stick right with him and just make sure that the GPS keeps him. I brought him over here to where I know that there's a bunch of logs. It's like taking your kids to the park, to the jungle gym. So, he's clearly visible and easy to access right now because there's no leaves on the trees, but if there were leaves, I'm not sure, A, how well the GPS would do, and B, how well I could keep up with him. So, but he does have the red harness on and the super reflective stripes on the harness. And he's like moving slow. I don't think he's gonna take off unless it's a bird or a chipmunk or something that really piques his interest. Or if he sees something that scares him, who knows what he's gonna do. So, anyway. Okay, I just came up that hill a different way than he did. I actually got further away from him than I have yet, and he just comes right back toward me. So I think my only issue is going to be if dogs come along off leash or if some animal other than me startles him. I'm a little bit feeling like I should put him back on the leash because, like more likely to find a person on a trail than not than anywhere else, but I still feel like we're back here far enough that we're okay for a little bit yet. I just like seeing him do his own thing so much rather than being on the leash. So we're gonna kind of close out this adventure pretty soon. And here we are, back in view of the truck. There's wonderful Wanda way back there. Not too way. So I'm gonna put him back on the leash because I don't want to come across a dog or something up in there. Okay, he's getting a little peevish and stubborn because I'd like him to be moving toward the van, which is right there. I'll give him some leeway, but not a huge amount. He's not going, oh, see, there he sits down like a stubborn child. There we go. That's a good boy. back in the van. Good to go. And our little Findster Duo tracks our walk and tells us how far. So we're ready to head home. I'm gonna fix his leash length and then head out. He likes having the air on him, so I just moved the vents toward his crate, and we don't have far to drive home.